Hello, this is Chloe Belinget, and I will be talking about the best-selling cards within the Pokemon set Temporal Forces. So specifically, we talk about the top 10, and I calculated myself. When choosing the top 10, I pay most of my attention to sales volume, and market price changes, trying to strike a balance between these three. And this is because, in my eyes, the best-selling cards are those that are selling a lot at a relatively high price, considering the card's history and the type of card it is. How do I do this? I look at the top 15 most popular on price charting, as well as the top 15 best-selling on TCG Player related to the set, so in this case Temporal Forces, and then I take all those cards and I rank them all based on price point, price change, and sales volume individually using information from TCG Player, price charting, and eBay. From there, based off of their rankings within each individual category, I calculate the final ranking of all the cards using a point system with cards getting certain points in certain categories based on their placements. So in price point, if a card gets first place, it'll get, in this case we used 18 cards. So in this case, first place we get 18 points, last place would get 1 point, and that would go down the whole entire thing. And yeah, so that's how I calculated that. From here, each slide will contain an explanation of why I believe it is within the top 10. And then from here, I will also have, I think, a few honorary mentions at the end. Let me check. Yeah, I will have a few honorary mentions at the end. These are just cards that caught my eye for one reason or another. They could be cards that I thought would be in the top 10 but aren't for some reason, or cards somewhat related to the top 10 mentioned that I want to elaborate on. But yeah, let's go into our first card. Our first card is an item card, which is quite interesting. For those who don't know that much about Pokemon best-selling cards, a lot of the time, most of the time, the top 10 are all full art cards, which basically means it's a card where the art of the Pokemon takes up the whole entire card, because those appeal to collectors the most because of all of the artwork. And so it not being in the number one spot is just something that you should keep note of. But this is an item card. This is Hero's Cape 152, or specifically this is a tool card. Hero's Cape 152. This card is an A-spec rare, which indicates high rarity as well as powerful playability. And although playability isn't usually a factor that is considered when it comes to Pokemon bestsellers, or what is often sold, because the Pokemon market right now is mostly made up of collectors, it does play a factor in cards like this, and I will talk about why now. And that is because this card is so playable, this card also has an alternate version. It has a prize pack series version, which prize packs are sets that can only be obtained by participating in and or winning tournaments. And so this also affirms the competitive playability, which attracts more players. But the idea of an alternate version also attracts collectors. In terms of the specific playability of this card, Hero's Cape is often the default card when it comes to these 1 per deck cards. So this is a one. I think you know what that means. I don't think I need to explain it. But it's a 1 per deck card, and it's often considered the default card, and so people will buy it, especially if they're just getting into the game. And it's also considered a card that never dies due to its universal relevance in competitive play. And so affirms competitive playability, which gives it its alternate version. The existence of an alternate version attracts collectors, because collectors like owning all versions of a certain card. And so that will also boost the popularity of the Hero's Cape. Yeah, that's our number 1. Our number 2 is another kind of item card, but this is an energy card. It's Neo Upper Energy 162. This is also an A-spec rare, so indicates high rarity and powerful playability. This card also has an alternate prize pack version, so it also carries those factors from there. And in terms of the playability of this card, energy acceleration creates highlight reel turns, which basically, how do I say this without sending brain rotty? I hate that I just said that. This card can be very showy, basically. This card can be very showy and very tricky, and so players love testing the card out and playing with it to see if they can create those highlight reel moments. And some decks even require this card to function optimally, so players will look for this card depending on what deck they're doing. But essentially it carries a lot of the same factors as number 1, and I suppose that's why it's number 2. Number 3 is, we're back to Pokemon, Gengar EX104, and this is an interesting card because this is the one I'm a little perplexed by. So this is a double rare card, and I point that out because a lot of the time the cards are the lowest tier, quote unquote, the lowest tier rarity you will see in our top 10 is ultra rare or illustration rare. Those are like the lowest rarities we often see. A-Spec, I don't remember if those are rare or not as rare. I'm pretty sure they're more rare than ultra rares, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically you don't see double rares. You don't see commons, you don't see uncommons, you don't see double rares. If you do, it's usually because they have an alternate version card that is boosting this card's sales. This card does not have an alternate version card. So it's very interesting that it is up here and it has so many sales, because I think the reason why it is up here is calculation-wise, has a relatively high price change. It's in the positives. You can kind of see on the graph here. And it has a really high sales volume. Sales volume within the past 3 months, total sold is, I think, around 1,500, which is pretty a lot, especially for a card that supposedly doesn't seem like it should have that much demand. Let's get into what the card is. This is a double rare. This is a Gengar card, which Gengar is a well-known and well-liked ghost type. I'm pretty sure he's from Gen 1, so that boosts that as well. This Pokemon just generally has stable popularity among the fandom, and Gengar products and cards generally tend to reliably sell despite the rarity. This is also, we added the playability factor because I didn't really know why else it'd be up here, but Gengar carries competitive precedence, making the Pokemon well known by players. But I don't know, this card confused me a little bit. I'm not fully 100% sure why it's up here. My guess is a lot of Pokemon popularity. It probably gained a lot of relevance within the TCG or the VGC recently. VGC, which means the video game championship, so similar to how you can battle with Pokemon using the trading cards, you can battle with Pokemon in the video game, and that has been turned to tournaments. And so I'm assuming a lot of Pokemon relevancy recently came up to bring this card up here. Okay. Our 4th place, Ghastly 177. This is an illustration rare card, so I was talking about full arts before. This is like what you think of when you think of full art. Not all full arts are illustration rare cards, but all illustration rare cards basically are full arts. And so illustration cards are just immediately sought after and are very attractive to collectors. In terms of Pokemon popularity, Ghastly is another ghost type that is well known and well liked in the Pokemon community, also from Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's literally in the evolution line. Gengar and Ghastly, I'm pretty sure, are in the same evolution line. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, and so they're in the same evolution line, so they carry similar popularity. And then in terms of artwork, calm, atmospheric, full art, which tends to do well. People really like full arts that show daily life or peaceful scenes, and in this case, this art really helps capture the nature of the Pokemon. It really displays the ghost type of it all. Sorry, that was kind of worded weirdly. This card also has a vibrant color palette and playful positioning, and also multiple Pokemon, which tends to do well. And so that makes this card very attractive to fans. We're at number 5, this is Salvatore 212. This is our first trainer card. This might be our only trainer card, but we'll see. But I point that out because, okay, not only is the card a special illustration rare, which is, or SIR, as detailed on there, these are highly sought after by collectors, since they are rarer than illustration rares and tend to be of higher quality. But this is specifically a special illustration rare that is a full art trainer card, and so it lends itself to this full art trainer effect. Full art trainer effect refers to this thing where for some reason full art trainer cards just perform really well and tend to be within the top sellers. There's just something about full art trainer cards and like the fact that there's a human on the card that really appeals to fans and collectors. But yeah, they just tend to be popular. This character specifically, this is Salvatore, he tends to have a distinctive character design within the game, and so that keeps him standing out a lot from other generic trainers. This artwork specifically is really nice. It's quite unique. It's very dynamic. It's one of those daily life showcasings, which, like I said, do well with full arts. The composition and framing is clean, the posing is dynamic, and full art capture daily life, which often does well. Wow, I kind of did not type it correctly. But it's just overall a good full art trainer card that appeals very well to fans and collectors. This is another trainer card, Morty's Conviction 211. So it's also another SIR, so it carries that over. Full art trainer effect carries that over. Morty is specifically a longtime fan favorite all the way back from the Johto region, and so he adds nostalgia appeal. This also includes a Gengar in his card, which is Pokemon popularity, narrative relevance, yeah. And then the artwork for this, the composition and framing, whoa, I kind of put the same thing. I actually don't know if I meant to do that, but the composition and framing is clean, the positioning is really nice. It's a quite detailed artwork. It's another one where you're kind of capturing daily life. The angle is really nice. It's just overall really nice art, and they play with light very well. It's just very nice, appealing artwork that will make the card attractive to fans and collectors. And so yeah. Metagross 178, this is our number 7. This card is an illustration rare card, so full art, which attracts collectors. Metagross is specifically quite a popular Pokemon because it's a steel type. Fans tend to love steel typing because of how it plays in game. And then Metagross also has presence within the games in the VGC video game competition, and it has an overall strong and stable fan base. In terms of the artwork, this is calm, atmospheric, full art, which tends to do well. That daily life that I was talking about. Sorry. The art style is also just overall very soft. It has detailed scenery and unique framing. There's a lot of like a call to action to this. It's kind of playful with the Metagross in the background rolling a snowball. And so this card is just overall very appealing to fans. Okay, our number 8, Saucebuck 166. This is a fun card. So this is another illustration rare, full art, attractive, yeah. And then this is Saucebuck. Saucebuck is a Pokemon that attracts the eyes of players and collectors because of its multiple design versions. So Saucebuck has 4 different versions depending on the season that the I don't know if it's the Pokemon evolves into or that the Pokemon the pre-evolution just has adapted to. But this is a Pokemon that has multiple versions, and so it catches the eyes of players and collectors. This artwork is also just very well done. It's unique and it has a unique and well done background that fits the nature of the Pokemon, and it's calm and scenic, which tends to do well. In addition, in terms of collectability, this card matches and is paired with another card, which is its pre-evolution Deerling, and so collectors will look to buy both cards. I'm actually going to skip to the honorary mentions so that you can see the Deerling card. And this is the Deerling card, Deerling 165. It's not anywhere in the rankings, but I put it in the honorary mentions just so that we can see it next to the Saucebuck. And so, like I said, this is the Deerling card that pairs with the Saucebuck card. The reason it isn't as high up is because of its relatively lower sales volume, although it has a high price change. And the Saucebuck card overall is just more popular, and therefore the card is more frequently chosen by buyers who can only afford one of the cards. So basically, if you have a choice between buying the Deerling card or the Saucebuck card, people will tend to go for the Saucebuck card, and so that's why the Saucebuck card is up there. And then if we want, I can show you how they look side to side just to show like why people buy both of them. If you move the Deerling to the side over here, you will see that the cards connect to each other like that, and that just adds to the collectability and the appeal of the Saucebuck card. And yeah, moving on to our number 9, another Gengar card, Gengar EX 193. This is an ultra rare card, which is a relatively high rarity tier that attracts collectors. You usually won't see cards below ultra rare, but it still attracts collectors within the top 10. Pokemon popularity, we talked about Gengar being well known and well liked as a ghost type. And then the playability of Gengar. This Gengar specifically, I think there are multiple Gengar full arts, but as to why this one is up here, players and fans who want Gengar will often want to buy this version because it's a high enough rarity that it attracts collectors, and it is affordable enough that it attracts players and fans. if that makes sense. So this just tends to be the Gengar that people go to buy if they want a more special Gengar card. Yeah. Now we reach our number 10, Cinccino. I'm gonna say Cinccino. Cinccino 183. And this is an illustration rare card, so it has that full art thing where collectors really like it. Cinccino overall is a popular Pokemon due to its cute appeal. It's just overall cute Pokemon. It kind of parallels Pikachu as well. Any Pokemon that parallels or is kind of reminiscent of Pikachu tends to do well. And so it's just very appealing to fans, players, and collectors. And then this artwork is really nice. It's really soft. There's a fitting background. There's other Pokemon in the background as well, so that adds to the appeal. The art style and scene fits the nature of Cinccino very well. So we have a soft color palette, soft art style, and just a cute scene. And so this appeals to fans and collectors a lot. And so that'll bring us to our last honorary mention, Raging Bolt. We finished the top 10. Our honorary mention is Raging Bolt EX208, and that's because this is like the legendary Pokemon of the set. Raging Bolt is a significant legendary Pokemon that carries a lot of lore relevance, so I thought it'd be up there, and a lot of websites put it up there. The reason why it's not up there for us is because its sales volume is just too low. As you can see here, only 2 sales within the past 3 months. I just couldn't put it up there. I can't have a bestseller that isn't selling, you know? So I just couldn't in good faith put it up there. But I think this card is one of the rare and noted chase cards of the set. The art overall is very appealing. It's very well done. Nice and detailed. The colors are very nice. They go together really well. And we also have a center position Pokemon, which makes it very displayable for collectors. As to why the sales are so low, I'm assuming that the fact that it's a chase card makes it rarer. And while that does make it more appealing, it also makes it harder to sell because it's A, more expensive, and B, people will want to keep the card instead of selling it. And so Raging Bull just happened to not make the top 10. But yeah, I think that is it for the analysis of our top 10 bestsellers in the Pokemon set Temporal Forces. Thank you for listening.